Well, guess I accidentally left that on. So hello, ladies and gelatins. Welcome to Jump Scare. Welcome to Monday. What could potentially be the final stream of Shibuya Scramble. Let's find out. Honestly, I'm in a good spot for doing stream today. Stuff is still overall quite crazy, and I have a feeling it's gonna get a little crazier again because but I'm happy to be here. I really am. Hey Algu, great to see you. Oh, I gotta click on this game. So honestly, let's jump right in and see if we can make this happen. That'd be pretty great. Loud hello. Okay, so I think we actually do just continue with where Achi was. Let's see if we can remember. Okay, Achi turned in Kano's direction. Detective! Kano was looking towards him, seemingly already aware that something was amiss. That's not the real Alphard. He's a fake. Okay, this one's the same. Can we go further? Okay. Where could the bomb be hidden then? Achi scanned the area, but didn't spot any place that seemed plausible. Then his eyes happened to alight on the attaché case the decoy had discarded. Could it be? No sooner had his suspicions been aroused than he heard Kano call out to him. Achi, check the case, hurry! He hurriedly opened the attaché case and searched the interior. But the only things inside were pieces of medical equipment, tubes and syringes and the like. That's not true. We already know there's a false bottom. Where else could the bomb be hidden? Damn it. He had to find the explosive, and soon. He took another hard look at the case. I don't think we should smash it apart. We probably shouldn't shake it either. I'll flip it over. Achi lifted the attaché case high and flipped it upside down. But as he was about to throw it, he heard a faint metallic sound. Quickly, he lowered the case again. He was certain the noise had come from inside. Actually, it looks like all three. Like he was going to throw it and smash it. Like all three of those would work with that particular image. Once more, he opened the case and looked inside. But still, he saw nothing of note. He tossed the medical equipment aside and slowly tilted the case from side to side. Although it looked empty, there was a distinct sound of something metal sliding back and forth. Hold on, could it be? Achi tugged at the case's interior lining, quickly tearing it free. When he looked behind it, his eyes went wide. A thin layer of something. Yeah, plus it's a metal, right? It's time. I think it's time. It is time. Hello, Bulldog. Hello. A thin layer of something that resembled white clay had been affixed aside the cover of the case. Several wires connected it to a small electronic device. This was it. The bomb really was inside the attaché case. How are things? Whew. Things are going. I would say things are probably not in the best overall place that they could be, but it's a good day for stream. It's a good day for stream because I really need this time away from work stuff, away from everything. So, yes. This part is good. Stream is good. People are good. Yeah, sometimes it just be like it. It's temporary. I know it's temporarily like this, but oof. Oh man. No, enjoy every second you can of that though. It's important. It's important to savor those moments, that's for sure. And you know what? Like so all right. Quick side thing. I think about it sometimes, like on the weekends or whatever. I'm like, oh my gosh, am I wasting my free time by like doing nothing or doom scrolling or whatever? Okay, doom scrolling like a little bit wasty, but like for the most part, the pleasure of being able to do nothing, the pleasure of being able and allowed to waste your time is some of the most important things ever, actually. Because straight up, just feeling constantly like you have to keep moving and have to keep going is tough. Thing is, I actually did have I did have like a cool adventure over the weekend too. But also, it did make me more tired and made it a little harder to recover afterwards. I don't regret it one bit because it was really cool. Like, we have basically like museum night here. And what it is that like all the museums, okay, not all, but like most of the museums are going to be open for free. Some of them you have to get a ticket. Some of them they're do events. There's also just like a bunch of events and spectacles and stuff around. It's actually way cooler than I thought it was going to be. I thought just, oh, some museums are open and you can go to them. But it's like way cooler than that actually. And the thing is though, it was also a lot of waiting in lines and a lot of being in the crowds of people. The coolest part though was getting to go to the chocolate factory. That was actually amazing. That was basically the like biggest highlight of my weekend. But the thing is that like the next day I was paying for it with staying up late and being out and walking so much, and it was cold and yeah. And sleep, yeah. Oh yes. Anxiety too. Yes, I am also being just low-key haunted. Not the fun kind of haunted either, but like haunted by all the things that I didn't do that I should have done, and all the things that I can't do anything about that I have to just wait and see what happens or doesn't happen. Whether or not it's going to be good or bad is just a coin flip, it feels like, when you have no control. Just gotta hurry up and wait and see if everything will be great or not. But yeah, anxiety, not fun. So I did also spend a lot of time watching anime, which is great. Anime is my happy place. Games are my happy place. All of these things. And sometimes you just really need it. Meant to do prep for D&D. Yeah, no, I feel you. That's actually, like, sometimes your brain's not in the right space for it, and like if you're running a game, especially where like if you're running a game, you really need to be in the right headspace, or else you just can't. And I haven't run very many games, but I've run enough of them to know that feeling at least. So, which reminds me, I was supposed to set up a game for people locally here, and I have not done that, and probably won't for the next multiple months, considering how much stuff is happening in the next few months. My family's gonna come visit me in a couple months. That'll be really cool. So it'll be nice to have some of my family here who've never been to Europe, let alone Poland. And it'll be fun. A lot of fun to like hang around and do stuff and actually get some time off. But also there's a lot of prep involved with everything. Just good. And also, yeah, no, there's some time. Okay, like honestly, I usually always have like an anime I'm watching somewhere along the line, but like it'll just like I'll binge it and then I'll like go a little while before I watch more again. But I swear, it's like I think the longest I've gone without watching any anime was like 1 month. Maybe. It might have just been a few weeks. But like it might have been a month. It might have. But like there was so much other stuff going on, and I was playing a lot of games instead. So there's always something in my life. But I have to say that like for the anime they're coming out right now, first of all, there's Liar Game, which I don't remember if I mentioned it recently, but I read not all of it, but I read like a good chunk of the manga. I think like whatever site I was reading it on did not have all of it. So I didn't get to finish it, not even close, honestly. I think also then I forgot about it. But like the fact that they're doing an anime of it is really awesome. Oh, Apothecary Diaries is seriously a 10 out of 10. It's a 10 out of 10 anime, and honestly, I would say it's I would say that is now the anime I would recommend to people who don't watch anime. It's incredible. But yeah, Liar Game is really interesting. But if you're in the mood for fun fantasy and gorgeous art, I've also started watching Witch Hat Atelier, and that's a good one. That's a really good one. So it's like, I think there's only like 4 or 5 episodes, maybe 5 episodes of Witch Hat right now, but it's so good. Liar Game is a bit tougher because like every single episode I'm like, no, I want more, because like I kind of remember what happens, but like kind of, and I'm like, no, wait, I want to know what happens at this part because I don't remember how this got solved. I only kind of remember what'll happen next, sort of. Yeah. Also scrolling back up, Coca-Cola Factory. Yo, actually that sounds really interesting. Did you get to try like a bunch of different flavors of Coca-Cola too? Like what did they have to offer for free if you went on a Coca-Cola Factory tour? Like obviously like some Coca-Cola, but like what else did you get? Like I went to the chocolate factory and they were like, oh, you guys can try and vote on your favorite flavors of these unreleased flavors of chocolate. Also, all you can eat liquid chocolate wafers. So I of course had only 3, one of each flavor, because I knew there was gonna be more stuff later. But apparently there was a record of one guy sat there, I guess, and had 33. Like it's just a wafer with a liquid chocolate on it. 33 of them. It's not even like close to the end of the chocolate factory. But also that sounds really cool. Now I wish I had gone to Coca-Cola Factory. M&M Factory sounds fun too. I went to the Hershey Factory when I was a kid, but I don't remember it very well. And I'm not really personally a big fan of Hershey chocolate. So it was like fun, but I wish I remembered like anything about it. Yeah, Witch Hat so far, there's not a lot going on right now, but like I heard it's also gonna get really like, it's going to get really into like the politics of the world. And I have to say, like, what I love about Witch Hat specifically is it's got really like, I love hard magic systems. Love them. I adore hard magic. I love when magic is well defined and clear in its boundaries and how it works, like the system, etc. Love it. But I also love how like this is just such a case of really clean world building. Like it's beautiful fantasy world building because they took the idea of like, you know, what if magic was something that, I mean, I'm trying to, how do I say it without spoiling even on the first episode? Like I know it's the first episode, but it's fun to like watch it and feel it from scratch. Let me think how to phrase it without spoiling it. Okay, like what if magic was like an integrated part of the world, but also it was so dangerous that we had to very specifically keep it in the hands of only very specific people, right? And it's how they go about it, and it's how that like a very simple thing was so clearly woven into every part of how this world is running, how this world is built, how this world has its history. Like you can feel it. What if magic was literacy? Oh, okay. Yeah, I should have known, Kira, you would have had an even better, way better metaphor. Yes, politics of education. Well, that's also a good one. Yes, there's a lot of stuff. Is making like. It's also, I've heard, it's also about like making hard choices and making the right choices and like how to deal with the consequences of that. And I haven't gotten to anything like big consequential yet, but like I love how it feels. It's got the fun of magic and like the fun of like learning, while also like, and again, beautiful world building. But also I can feel that there's so much more going on already. The fountain, that's fair. If you're that young, you probably wouldn't have remembered much. You know what? It sounds like something that maybe one day I'll just have to try to do. Maybe I should just, like, honestly, going to museum night just made me realize I should go to just a lot more museums in general, and also improv comedy. There was a place that was doing, like, improv comedy for free, and they were literally just grabbing people from the audience, and I'm like, no, not me. I don't speak good enough Polish to do an improv. I can just understand improv. I would probably... I get the performance anxieties for sure, and especially in another language. That's a bit hard for me. But honestly, like the funny thing is, like, weirdly playing the character of a foreigner who knows some Polish could also be very funny. But like, it doesn't work for every improv game because improv's really special. It makes me want to roleplay in Polish, though. I really want to roleplay in Polish. Oh my gosh. I actually probably find, like, I probably could for a long time, like, physically be able to. I really need to find time. It's gonna take months. It's gonna be definitely after my family visits at this point. So like at the earliest August, before I can try to plan a role play. Yeah, I probably could have role played in Polish for a long time at this point. But like, I think finally I feel like I should. No, I always like wanted to. I just never really did enough. But yes. Draw steel. Lancer. Oh, fourth edition. Aha. Yeah, no, that one's been just interesting. I just honestly, like, I mostly really want to play a Legend of the Five Rings again. But like, I have people who are down who I could introduce it to here. I absolutely could at any point in time. I have a small group of people who said they'd do it. I just need the time to time. But yeah. Anyways, Achi, I found it. The clay. I mean, also explosive clay is also kind of like magic. Ooh, really? I'm very interested, Kira. I'm very interested in a downsized rule set. Because, like, yeah, doing all this treatment. Woo! That requires even more prep. So much prep. We'll see. Kind of hurried over, bringing his captive with him. There, Mr. Palmer, take a look. When he saw what he saw, when he saw what was inside the attaché case, the fake Alfred went pale. No, it can't be. Alfred, why? Alfred always ties up his loose ends. His voice was hoarse with betrayal. Then abruptly he broke into stilted laughter. Trusting someone really does make you blind. Such a simple, childish ruse. It went right under my nose. The fake Alfred Palmer looked over at Kano. We need to get out of here immediately, he said. That right there is C4, high-yield plastic explosive used by the military. It's enough to blow this whole area to smithereens. Such a great word, smithereens. It's used exclusively to talk about blowing something to smithereens. But I feel like it probably did other things at some point in time, or was the word invented to be used in this sentence? I don't know. I do not know. Okay, I'm getting even more sold on Sultan's game. If it's L5RE, I mean, listen, I like L5R a lot. Smithereens, interesting. Yes. Yeah, I had some of the cards for the L5R card game, but I played like 3 times, and then, like, you know the problem with card games? You have to have people who are willing to play with you if you have it. Achi pictured Shibuya reduced to a blasted ruin. Meanwhile, Kano frantically began searching the inside of the attaché case. Also, I did make some tea. That's very nice. Spiderman's to smithereens. Yeah, blown to smithereens. I don't remember the song for Dexter's Lab. So interesting. A microphone, Kato muttered. Hey, detective, that thing gonna explode or not? Achi tried and failed to keep his voice from wavering. Wait, did I say something other than Dexter's Lab? I might have. No, I don't remember. I don't remember how it went. I don't remember the song. It just doesn't. It didn't stick in my head. I didn't watch very much of that show actually. I did watch some of it, but like, I don't know. I couldn't stand Dee Dee. I just could not. I know that was the whole point, but I hated it. I hated that part of it. Yeah, absolutely. You can drop it in Discord and I'll listen to it again, and I'm sure I'll be like, yeah, that's right. I remember this. Looks like it's sound activated but hasn't gone off from having people nearby. So that means it must be set to explode in response to a specific sound trigger. I think we went through this one. That's it. It must be Atomi's ringtone. That's why Stanley had me powered off. That means we're safe, huh? No. I wouldn't bet our lives on it. Carefully loosen the bomb from the cable and the cables, pulling them away from the lid in the case. They made Achi's heart a leap. Yes. Yeah, but she had a custom ringtone is the thing. But yes. The thing is though, like, how can you guarantee someone else wouldn't have the same ringtone for this very popular artist? Courtier. Okay, trying to survive, solving the objectives generated by drawing cards in the magic deck. Duels, intrigue, sick poetry. Ooh. That does sound really cool. That sounds really cool. I should get that game. I should probably get that game when it's on a sale, though. Ending theme. Oh, okay. Interesting. I definitely don't remember the ending. Yeah, every person having a different ringtone is fun. I haven't done that, though. My phone hasn't rang with sound in years at this point. Like, it just buzzes. I think most people are that way. They mostly just have buzzy phones. I mean, I think ringtones are still cool. It's just like, it's not for me anymore. I feel like I don't need it. Kind of went stock still as if caught in a hungry predator's gaze. There's not just a sound trigger. His voice was wavering. The bomb has also been fitted with a countdown timer. Been planted underneath. Detective Kuze, where's that bomb squad? While Kano made a desperate call to the police, Achi picked up the attaché case and peered inside. The digital timer was steadily ticking down the seconds. Achi scanned the nearby area. There were too many people around the scramble. Tomi was there. Susumu was there. Several more of his old pals. Along with a bunch of innocent bystanders. And Palmer. The not innocent bystander. The very guilty bystander. The people are the lifeblood, Achi reminded himself. The blood that coursed through the body was the city. Like cells, they brought life to the city that he so loved, and Achi wanted to be one of the red, or was it white, blood cells of Shibuya. Achi, Kano called out, leave that thing and get out of here. No way. Achi sat down, cradling the case in his arms. Achi, what the hell are you doing? I'm not going anywhere until everyone's made it to safety. Detective, you need to get these people someplace safe right away. Clear the area first, then I'll go. There's no way I can do that. Damn it, don't you want to save these people? Achi snapped. Kano bit his lower lip. Tomi wrapped her arms around Achi from behind. Achi, don't do this. Tomi, you need to get out of here too. Why? Why are you acting so crazy? Tears blurred her words and he could feel her trembling against him. Yes, the finale. Doesn't matter, just get away as far as you can. No, I'm not leaving you. Hello, partner in time. After the day they'd spent together, Achi knew full well that telling Hitomi something once wasn't enough to get her to listen. That stubbornness was one of the many things that made her so amazing in his eyes. Hitomi. Achi clasped one of her hands tightly. Please, this is the one favor I will ever ask you. His voice came out oddly soft and gentle. I mean, listen, if you got custom ringtones and you still enjoy it and you don't have any problems with like being in public often and the sound going off and annoying other people, like, which I feel so self-conscious about it's really not annoying. Like, I have not been annoyed by someone else's ringtone, like, pretty much ever. The only time is if it's just like going and going and going and they don't answer it. That's the only time it's annoying, right? Because you're just like, answer the phone. But I've never been annoyed by it, and yet I can't stop thinking that I'll annoy everyone else around me. Because I don't know, I don't trust people. I also just like get enough spam calls that I'm just like, Imagine making your ringtone, setting it to your phone, immediately setting the phone to vibrate, never switching it. Yep. Alright, still then. Let me say just one thing first. There are still so many things I want to talk to you about. So much more I want to know about you. So please, Achi, don't you die on me. Hey, don't worry. Once everyone's made it to safety, I'll clear out of here right away. Tomi squeezed his hand, then got up and silently hurried away. That's also true. I almost never get phone calls in the first place. It's pretty rare. But if I do get a phone call, it's spam. Or, like, an emergency. But even then, like, the buzzing is still usually what I would prefer. Susumu, you and SOS start getting people out of the area. Yeah, alright. Susumu turned away and spurred the gang into action. Then for an instant, Achi's eyes met Kano's. Achi gave a tiny nod and looked down at the timer. 1:19:18. Get back! Achi shouted at the top of his lungs. Everybody, get back! There's a bomb! He held the attaché case tight against himself as he continued shouting. He ran his voice raw, trying to warn the crowd away. Everyone, get out of here! Just run! Following his lead, Kano started directing nearby civilians to safety. There's a bomb! The detective shouted. Everybody run! Get away as fast as you can! Susumu waved his arms emphatically. Please, Tomi added, you all have to get out of here. The crowd didn't heed their warnings. At last, apparently deciding the time was up, Kano turned back to Achi. Achi, that's enough. Leave the bomb. Let's go. He could hear Susumu and Hitomi shouting as well. There's no time left, man. Achi, come on. The way Palmer talked about this bomb, it sounded like a pretty dangerous one. It'd be powerful enough to blow up the entire intersection. And there were still so many people nearby. There was no chance they'd be able to get to safety in the few dozen seconds that remained. Achi needed to minimize the force of the blast as much as possible. He cradled the bomb more tightly to his chest, huddling over it. What are you doing? Come with us! Hurry! Screamed Kano. Just gonna jump to this part of the end. Totally different music here. Okay, hold on. We go back, I guess, because we have the jump, but it's just a to be continued. Why did nobody heed the bomb warning? Confess. Yeah, exactly. We're gonna leave this intersection for the photo op. I mean, it's also because actually it's more or less true that like if people start shouting and waving their arms and whatever, people are more likely to come closer to see what's happening versus to leave. But I'll be honest, if people are screaming bomb, I would run. I would peace out. I'm outies. Like, I don't care if some stupid kid is, I'm done. I'm not risking that. There There are services to cut down. I mean, there are things that mark my calls that say it's probably spam, and I can ignore it that way, but still. I don't know how powerful this bomb is, but please God, let my body be enough to protect the people of Shibuya and to protect Hitomi. She squeezed his eyes tightly shut. Sorry, Suzune. Looks like I won't be able to keep visiting you in the hospital anymore. Forgive me though, right? Stuck it through to the end, just like you told me to. I didn't call it quits partway through. So whatever you do, you can't let that disease beat you. Don't you dare let it beat you. Achi drew a deep breath as he finished his solitary little prayer. He couldn't have more than a few seconds left to go. Achi, it was Hitomi. He was glad that her voice was the last thing in this world he'd ever hear. Or so he thought. Achi, bring the bomb over here! Oh, that's right, we have the ice. Huh? That wasn't Hitomi's voice. Achi opened his eyes and saw Kano racing towards him, pushing some big, weird piece of machinery. The detective flipped open the machine's cover to reveal a huge mound of dry ice. Stick it in here. Flash freezing the timer ought to stop it. Achi did as he was told, shoving the attaché case into the dry ice. Kano helped him pile more dry ice on top of it. Let's hope that's enough, Kano exclaimed. He looked like a man desperate for a miracle. They could see the timer display through a gap in the frozen hydrogen, still counting down. 3, 2. It's not gonna work. Achi and Kano held their breaths. I mean, yeah. It's, Well, it is what it is. So... maybe it's actually frozen hydrogen that makes it colder. I don't know. Don't know, but like... to be continued, so like, hold on. What's happening? Oh! Oh, the epilogue! Okay. No. It's time. Just automatically replies stop. Oh, yeah, that just tells the marketers it's more. Yeah, that's so much worse. Yummy tea. I have cherry flavored tea and it is so good. She felt a hand firmly clutching her own. She hazily returned to consciousness. Cherry like the... What? No. Cherry like cherry. This hand. Whose is it? My father's? Maria's eyelids slowly drifted open. Maria, you're all right now. Her father was indeed beside her, holding her hand. A surprising warmth radiated from his slender, bony palm. Dad? She was lying on a sofa. She craned her neck to look around, still trying to process what was going on. There were several monitors set up around the room. Where are we? At my laboratory. You were infected with a virus, but I've given you the antiviral. You don't have anything to worry about. He squeezed Maria's hand even more tightly. It hurts. Right, sorry. Sawa eased up the pressure on his daughter's hand, but he didn't let go entirely. This feels so strange, Maria muttered, staring up at the ceiling. I wonder why. What does? Having you hold my hand? I used to hold your hand like this when we'd go on walks together when you were little. Doubt you remember that, though. Maria considered. It was true. She didn't have any clear memory of her father holding her hand like this, and yet the touch of her father's palm felt distinctly familiar. Or distantly familiar. Oh. Okay, so if it's solid hydrogen, then that would be a lot more likely to actually work than just normal dry ice. How common is hydrogen for dry ice instead of just CO2? Gently, she squeezed back. Been a while, hasn't it? She said. I mean, me looking at you in the eye while I'm talking to you. That's only because I didn't look you in the eye. Usawa hung his head. So sorry, he said. Please forgive me. Never meant to hurt you like I did. Wait, hold on. Rie was taken aback. I don't know what you're talking about. What do you mean, hurt me? Back on that rainy day. Usawa told Maria about the day she'd run away from home, about how he'd known where she'd gone but hadn't gone to find her, about how he'd given in to his anger and struck her once she came back home. When he'd finished, he hung his head once more. So sorry. I've been such a terrible father. Maria cracked an impish smile. Oh yeah, I guess that did happen. Usawa frowned. You know, she said. I'd totally forgotten about that. Until you mentioned it just now, I mean. No, can't believe that, Usawa replied. The way I hurt you, I sounded so disappointed in himself. Dad, it's not like I can let myself dwell on each and every detail in my childhood. I mean, in the 19 or so years I've been alive, I've been hurt in lots of different ways. A child experienced so much more than what her parents knew. That was what growing up was all about. It was a happy thing, but also a little bit sad. Usawa was visibly grappling with his feelings. See, I guess you have gone through much pain. Well, yeah, but there have been more things that were fun and happy. See, it's the sum of all those things that have made me who I am today. Yeah, it's okay you traumatized me because other things traumatized me harder. Oh, yeah, it's... Well, I mean... She is related to him, so I'm not surprised she's taking a logical approach to this. Please don't worry so much about the past. It is toxic. It is definitely toxic. But they can both be a little toxic together. She's toxic positivity. He's toxic cold. But at least he's trying to be better. I don't forgive him. And she shouldn't just straight up forgive him either. But like, you know, it's okay to give him credit for trying. But that's it. Just the credit for trying. Just a little bit. Just like a little bit of, hey, you really are trying. You can keep being better. Keep being better. Forever. Yeah, no, the dry ice thing working is literally a miracle, but... Well, makes sense to me. It is a story, after all. Dad, you keep saying I see. Stop it. Sorry, it's just, this is all so difficult to say. Usawa was trying and failing to hold back his tears. Maria wasn't quite sure what those tears were for. But she felt a prickle of embarrassment. Oh yeah, his memory of it could have been warped and exaggerated. It could have been like, wait, that's not how it happened. That's not what happened, right? Like, but... I mean, either way, still, even if he had the memory of, like, hitting his daughter in any way, shape, or form, that's still concerning. It's I don't know if it's more or less concerning if it's a false memory. Shyly, she looked away and her eyes alighted on one of the monitors. The screen showed a view from outside the lab. Who are those people? She asked, pointing. Usawa looked and his eyes widened in shock. 3 people with guns were facing off with one another. Maria recognized one of them. Tateno, the man with the cane. Why are those 2 pointing guns at your friend? Usawa's voice was shaking. My friend? What do you mean? One we met when we were in the Middle East. You know, Kanan? Usawa switched the monitor to show a different camera angle. A close-up of the young woman's face appeared on screen. Maria was at a loss for words. That certainly wasn't Kanan. It was the girl who'd come to tell Maria that Hitomi was going to be kidnapped. Kanan's friend. It had happened 3 days earlier. While Maria was on her way home from campus, a girl approached her, telling her she was a friend of Kanan. Kanan asked me to pass along a message, she said. Then she showed Maria a video recording. The video quality is quite poor and the voice indistinct. There's a terrorist who's after the antiviral agent your father's developing. Maria listened in shock as the message continued. The terrorist plan was already in motion and Hitomi had been infected with a killer virus. Your father used the antiviral to save Hitomi, but the terrorist planned on that. I'll spare you the details, but there's a way to extract the antiviral from Hitomi's blood. Stealing the drug from the laboratory directly is too problematic. The The terrorist intends to get it directly from your sister. Hitomi is certain to be kidnapped at some time in the next few days. So I have something to ask you. I'd like you to get kidnapped in her place. Since you're twins, it should be possible for you to trade places without the kidnappers realizing. I gave the girl who's passing along this message a necklace outfit of the small GPS beacon. Make sure you wear the necklace. Switch it on and it'll allow me to keep tabs on your location. Promise I'll come rescue you. Please help me. This is the only way we can keep the antiviral and Hitomi safe. The video ended and the girl handed Maria a necklace with an ornate pendant and showed her the hidden switch on the back. Kanan's coming to Japan? Maria asked. She's already here. She's ready to risk her life for this mission. Risk her life? Maria started uneasily. So this terrorist who's after the antiviral drug, is it Alphard? The girl looked shocked. You know about Alphard. Kanan told me that taking down Alphard is a purpose in life, but Alphard has ties to the CIA, so it's hard for Kanan to get any good leads. It's true, which reminds me, you should have this. The girl held out a photograph. This man is dangerous. Stay away from him. He's an ally of Alphard. Maria did her best to burn the man's image into her mind. All right, the girl said. I've passed along everything Kanan warned me to tell you. What you do next is up to you. Oh yes, twins always switch places. And I bet you they also... Actually, I think there was a thing on Reddit about how often they do that in real life. It does happen. They do that on purpose in real life. Sweet, what the heck has been going on while I've been asleep? Sal recoiled from the ferocity in his daughter's face. The Kanan girl thought of a way to save you. He went on to explain the plan to get the antiviral out of the laboratory. Once again, Maria stared at the monitor. As she eyed Kanan's friend, another memory from before she blacked out drifted to the surface. Suddenly, it dawned on Maria what this girl was planning. She pretended to be Kanan in order to get into the lab, she said, scowling at the image on the monitor. Sawa looked at the screen, then at his daughter's face. And who in the world is she? Maria already had the answer. There was no doubt about it. That girl was Alphard. The instant she realized this, she knew they were in danger. If Alphard managed to infiltrate the lab, there was no way she'd be satisfied with simply getting her hands on the antiviral. She sowed ruin everywhere she went. Is something wrong? Osawa asked uneasily. Maria, what is it? Maria's mind was racing. She spoke her thoughts out loud. She's going to kill you so the drug can't be recreated. No, that's not thorough enough. She's going to destroy this whole facility. But how? Vague possibilities tumbled through her mind, but she couldn't be sure what the terrorists might be planning. She gritted her teeth in frustration. Don't worry, Osawa said. I don't know who this girl is, but right now she's outside the lab. There's no way she can kill me or plant a bomb in here or anything. Yeah, I know. Maria gave a tiny nod, but something gnawed at the back of her mind. Sure, you wear the necklace. Hurriedly, Maria took a hold of the pendant hung around her neck. As soon as she did, she felt a chill run up her spine. She went back over the details of Alphard's plan as her father had explained it. Finally, she understood. I've got it. Sawa straightened up. You got what? I need to get out there where those three are. Don't be absurd. I have to go. Sawa peered closely at his daughter's face. Words weren't going to stop her, and as he realized that, his own face stiffened with determination. All right, but I'm going with you. Can't let you rush into danger all by yourself. Thank you. Dad. It just paused. Actually, that was an okay pause for this. Maria tried to get up from the sofa, but she was struck by a wave of vertigo and her knees buckled. Are you all right? Sawa caught her by the arm. This is probably a side effect of the antiviral. Shouldn't push yourself too much. Maria looked at her father's anxious face and shook her head. Don't worry, I'll be okay. Her body was weak with lethargy. Her mind was trapped in disorienting haze. Every step was a monumental effort. She clenched her jaw and forced herself onward, making her way down the laboratory hallway. A whirlwind of anger and sadness spurred her onward. Alphard was masquerading as Kanan. The cruel truth was all too clear. The terrorist would never have been able to get away with the deception if Kanan were still alive. What? Which means that Kanan must be... Maria fought hard to hold back tears. It was too early to cry just yet. That could wait until after she'd put a stop to Alphard's plan. Using her rage to suppress her sorrow, she shoved open the door in front of her. That isn't Kanan. Maria's voice exploded into the silence of the standoff. Doubt we're getting better testimony than that, Stanley said, his gun still at the ready. There's no talking your way out of things this time. The expression on Alphard's face didn't change. She stood still, a mannequin without a soul. What did you do to Kanan? Maria demanded, marching unsteadily towards the terrorist. Maria, stay back. She ignored him. Hey, don't get any closer, Toteno barked. You look exhausted, on the verge of collapse. Answer me, Maria cried, still advancing. What happened to Kanan? Still, Alphard said nothing. Stanley, too, began edging towards her. Doesn't matter what you ask, she won't tell you anything. Bit by bit, she inched closer. He was going to try to take her down. Let me turn your questions around, Alphard said abruptly. What do you think? Maria paused, confused. What do I think about what? What do you think happened to Kanan? The corners of her lips twisted up, shaping a mirthless smile. You killed her, didn't you? Maria's words came out as a whisper. What was that? Couldn't quite hear you. You killed Kanan, didn't you? This time Maria cried out with biting fury. Alphard snickered. She's provoking me, Maria thought, forcing herself to swallow rage. She couldn't let herself get caught up in Alphard's game or her anger would spill out of control. Why are you laughing? With force of will, Maria made her voice firm and steady. Because I'm guessing you weren't expecting me to show up here. Alphard raised an eyebrow ever so slightly. This thing here? It's a bomb, isn't it? Maria held out the necklace. What? Stanley furrowed his brow. Of course. Even if we managed to catch you here, you'd still be able to destroy the lab. Still, the smile remained on Alphard's face. She seemed to enjoy watching the others figure out her intentions. You can't trigger the bomb with me standing this close to you, can you? Maria locked eyes with Alphard, unless you're prepared to sacrifice yourself. We don't know what it's made of. Alphard is apparently like a bomb genius and can just any kind of bomb inside of anything. We don't know. Also, yeah, if this is GPS tracking. It's not actually a bomb. It's a targeting. It's like this is the target for like some drone or something, for some missile. I love the idea of having siblings that just kind of change into each other for fun. That sounds really fun for some tavern time. She stood like an image of bravery, while the inside her apprehension threatened to tear her apart. She could feel her heart thudding so furiously that she thought it might explode. Cold sweat trickled down her spine. Only her rage at Kanan's murder kept her from backing down. Go ahead and blow yourself up if that's what you want, but you'll die with nothing. Your death will mean nothing, but not mine. My death will avenge Kanan's. Silence fell outside the laboratory gates. Stanley and Toteno stood frozen, their guns still trained on Alphard. Both men were ready to pull the trigger at the slightest provocation. Just how long had they been there, staring one another down? The passage of time seemed slow, seconds drawn into hours. Sawa swallowed audibly. Finally, Alphard tossed her gun onto the pavement, held up both hands in surrender. Stanley wasted no time, springing forward to secure her. He gave her a thorough pat-down from behind, removed a small device that looked like a detonator from one of her pockets. On your knees. Alphard did as she was told. Good. Hands behind your head. Anything funny and I will shoot. Without a word, Alphard placed her hands on the back of her head, fingers laced together. What are you playing at? Stanley growled disdainfully. Finally realized you can only push your luck so far. She responded with a faint snicker. It's not my policy to resist when things are hopeless. Her tone was detached, her intentions unreadable. Good, that'll make this easy. Stanley kept the barrel of his gun pointed at Alphard's head. This is for my brother. The words hung in his throat, unspoken. A surge of emotion coursed through him. Just a tiny bit more pressure from his index finger. He could put a bullet right through Alphard's head. His long journey would finally reach its conclusion. But although he had wished for this moment more than anything, his finger did not move. If he pulled the trigger now, would that truly be the end? His mind reeled at the implications. Steno watched Stanley closely, eventually letting out a tiny sigh of relief. They were in this together, after all. Now they just needed to be careful not to let down their guard. He kept one eye on Alphard as he went to pick up the gun she discarded. But he was too late. The gun was gone. This is for Kanan. Maria lunged forward, snatching up the gun. Maria, no, Sawa cried. What are you thinking? She ignored her father, taking aim at Alphard's forehead. Yo, Kanan's dead. And you're gonna pay. The smoldering rage she'd fought to hold back blazed with renewed fury. Maria, Stanley said calmly, put down the gun. He had nothing but words to stop her. There was no telling what Alphard might do if he took his gun off her. What will this accomplish? He asked, keeping his tone as level as possible. Maria's face made awash with anger. Maria, her father pleaded, please don't do this. Son took a step forward. Go on, hand me the gun. Yes, said calmly. Yeah, very calm. Stay back. Maria's arm trembled as she aimed the gun. Everyone stood frozen, not even daring to breathe. The slightest wrong move might bring disaster. The silence roared. I don't care, Alphard sneered. If you want to shoot, then shoot. You do want to avenge Kanan, don't you? Yes, I do. Maria tightened her grip on the gun. Memories of her Fred drifted through her mind. To Maria, born into peace, meeting Kanan had been like touching a world beyond her own. A far more complicated world. Did you put your name into the goblet of fire? Kanan had blood on her hands from the time she was a little girl, a walking contradiction of cruelty and childishness. And yet, she had lived her life according to her own unshakable beliefs. Meeting her had made Maria think hard about her own identity. What did it mean to be Japanese? No, that wasn't the question. What did it mean to be Maria Osawa? That was the crux of it all. They had been able to find common ground despite differing ideals because both possessed an unshakable sense of self. The tense equilibrium came crashing down as Maria let out a shout. This is for Kanan! She pulled the trigger, but her shot went wide, shattering the window of a nearby car. A sudden gunshot caught Stanley off guard. Alphard didn't miss her opening. She rolled swiftly across the pavement, drawing a small pistol she'd hidden in an ankle holster. Maria hastily tried to aim for a second shot. Oh. Dad? Osawa collapsed at Maria's feet. Dad! Her father went limp. Stanley dived at Alphard. He grabbed hold of her wrist, the one clutching the gun, and slammed her head down hard against the pavement. She made no attempt to resist. In a moment, he had subdued her. A good pat down. I mean, I guess you didn't check the ankles. Maria, you're not hurt, are you? Sawa croaked feebly as his daughter gathered him up in her arms. Fine, but Dad, Your... Blood was gushing through Osawa's shirt. Maria pressed her hand against the wound, but the bleeding wouldn't stop. Look, just hurry. Get here as fast as you can. Desna was on a cell phone calling for an ambulance. I know there's a traffic jam. Just figure something out, please. His voice was ragged with desperation. Dad, hang in there. Large tears streamed from Maria's eyes. So this is what it's like. Sawa laid with his head in his daughter's lap, struggling to rasp out his words. My body just reacted before I had any time to think. I finally understand what a virus must feel. His eyes were hollow. I never told you told me, did I? About what started my fascination with virus research. Dad, try not to talk right now. Maria squeezed her father's hand. Almost imperceptibly, he squeezed it back. Probably isn't a very interesting story, he said. But I'd like for you both to hear it anyway. No, and we will. After this, I promise we will. Maria's words brought a contented smile to Osawa's face. I'm glad. It's alright, just don't talk right now. This time, at least. I was there for you. Osawa slowly shut his eyes. Dad? Maria said, but her father didn't answer. Dad, don't die. You can't die. The sound of ambulance sirens wailed in the distance. Maria clutched her father's hand, trying to make her grip firm and reassuring, just as his had been for her back inside the laboratory. Please, don't die. She repeated the words inwardly over and over and over. I'm taking a guess, though, that he does die, but Susumu gets his heart. Because it's genetic, the blood type. This is my guess. It is still very sad, though. I made one wrong choice. Wait, really? You can have a different ending? A black car of foreign make arrived at the laboratory and pulled up to the curb. Stanley's superior, Gordon, emerged from the back. A few of his men followed and promptly placed Alphard in handcuffs. Well done, Gordon said. Stanley gave him a slight nod. I'll be taking Alphard back to headquarters. You can finish up here. You picked the wrong ice cream flavor back in Act 2. Gotta start. Well, I mean, I can go back and change even just one thing and then probably watch the epilogue again, to be fair. So, I don't know, Kira, if you know, if you can find out, we can find out afterwards. Listen, we'll finish this one. This is my canon ending, unfortunately. But we can see what the other one looks like if it's possible. We'll see. We'll see. No, I know, Algol, that's probably not a thing, because I definitely never picked an ice cream flavor, but still. Well done, Gordon said. Stanley gave him a slight nod. I'll be taking Alphard back to headquarters. You can finish up here. Understood her. Sir. Yes. Good. Partner Time has a list. We can get best ending. We can get best ending after we get this ending. Gordon shoved Alphard into the back seat and slid in alongside her, and the car drove off. Oh! Interesting. Is it the one with Stanley? Maybe. Who was that just now? Tateno asked Stanley. My boss. Sorry, we'll be taking Alphard into custody. You will, huh? Tateno frowned, but decided not to press the point. Right? I don't think I would give them the terrorist, exactly. The ambulance arrived at last, and Osawa was loaded inside. Exactly, like, we're gonna stay handcuffed together at this, yes, 100%. Maria remained at his side, still weeping, still softly calling out to him. He could sense her there, although her voice sounded awfully far away. This is the end, then. He was vaguely aware he was dying, but he was not afraid. At the far end of a hazy tunnel, he could still see Maria. Aye, she had grown. She had grown so very much. If he were an organism that multiplied by dividing itself, he would die knowing that he had left his best selves behind. He had only one wish now, that Maria and Hitomi would go on to lead happy lives. His vision was growing steadily more dim. Tiny motes of light flickered and wavered faintly before his eyes. It looked like the very first time he'd ever peered through a microscope. That was enough for him. Unexpectedly, Maria's cell phone rang in Stanley's pocket. He'd meant to give it back to her, but the ambulance had already departed. The phone continued to ring for some time, but eventually fell into a death-like silence. "2 seconds. Achi held his breath. He could no longer feel the seconds ticking by. The numbers on display were changing more and more slowly. Still, he watched in fear. 2. It was impossible not to fixate on the countdown. 2, 2, 2. Kano and Achi continued to stare at the timer. 2. It had stopped. The timer had actually stopped. We did it! Achi dropped to his knees with a cry of triumph. The rest of Shibuya's Scramble burst into tears, and everyone clapped. Okay, but like, the people who are aware, the at least like 20-some people who are aware of what's going on. You are one reckless guy, you know that? Kano held his hand out. Achi grinned up at him. That makes 2 of us. The 2 clasped hands firmly. The handshake conveyed more than any words could have. Achi. Susumu came rushing over. Did it, man. I knew you could. Two bumped fists. No, it weren't just me. Could never have done it without you guys' help. Susumu smiled bashfully. We've been scraping. Oh yeah, like, right? I feel like it's not gonna be all completely, but still. There's definitely some things they could have done, but, you know, they still did the right thing, because it stopped at least. Susumu, take care of SOS for me. You got it. Susumu looked him squarely in the eye. Achi gave a little nod, and the two solemnly bumped fists again. Suddenly, there was a blinding flash. Achi spun around to see Chiaki standing there, beaming happily, her digital camera ready for another shot. Hey, everyone gather up, Yorikawa called out to Achi and his pals. You guys are the heroes of Shibuya. Photo time, everyone. Chiaki said, get ready. The young man struck a pose together. Wait, her too. Yorikawa ushered Tomi over to stand with Achi. Tomi. Achi stared at her shyly. Oh yeah, the people getting CO2 poisoning. They should probably also go to hospital. It's time for hospital. It was thanks to Tomi that he'd been able to do what he'd done, keeping Shibuya safe, keeping his promise to Suzune. Susan. I said he's gonna get the heart to Susumu, but it's Suzune because I messed up two of the names. Susumu gets a heart. just to look more badass. He puts it in a jar. Oh god, I'm so bad. Suzune. Now I'm just mixing it up. Susumu also a thing in L5R, but also here. It's inspiration for us all. There were so many things he wanted to say, but he couldn't get the right words out. Achi, Tomi's cheeks were damp with tears. Hey now, little lady, Norikawa called. No crying now. Come on, show us a smile. He struck a goofy pose beside Chiaki. At last, the smile returned to Tomi's face. Really is the best. Tomi looks up at Achi in confusion. Your smile, it's the best. I don't care what anyone else says. He spoke so earnestly that Hitomi couldn't help but smile even more. Okay, here we go, people. Get your best faces on. Yorikawa's signal, everyone let out a joyous victory cry. Come on, guys, Susumu shouted. Let's lift Achi up where everyone can see him. A member of SOS let out another roar. Huh? No, you don't gotta do that, guys. Hey, everyone, cut it out. But Achi had already been swallowed by the enthusiastic throng. Heave-ho! Heave-ho! No, exactly, no. I actually do love how every other country except America, people and actors do not have perfect teeth. It's like so normal to not have literally the exact same copy-paste smile. It's nice. There in the middle of the scramble, Achi was being hailed as a hero. Kano looked on with a satisfied smile. What they'd achieved together was nothing less than a miracle. It had taken a lot of luck and more than a few coincidences for them to stop the bomb. Coincidences? Kano muttered to himself. No, that wasn't right. This was something different altogether. Fate, that's what it was. Not just one person's fate. The destinies of several people had collided, gathering momentum until coincidence became inevitability, and Shibuya was saved. The raucous crowd tossed Achi high into the air again and again. As a plainclothes detective, Kano would probably never be showered with adulation like that. Oh. That was alright. Detective's duty was to ensure the safety of the people. He didn't put his life on the line so that he could be a hero. Seeing all those smiles, that was good enough for him. Kano only needed the approval of one person. That was Rumi. Rumi. She managed to make it out of Shibuya okay. Suddenly worried, he pulled out his cell phone. There was a whole bunch of things he wanted to tell her. Couldn't share the whole story. Police rules wouldn't allow it, but he wanted to let her know as much as he could. The kidnapping case had been resolved, safely for instance, that he'd learned about the tortured past of a detective he so admired, that his partner was going to pull through, that he'd managed to finally talk to her father, that he'd put his life on the line to save Shibuya from danger. Rumi would listen quietly to the very end, and then, Kano thought, he knew just what she'd say. Short and sweet. That gentle voice of hers. Good job. Good job. Good job. Did it. Okay, we have an ending. I want all the other ending. Okay. I was skipping credits. I want to fast forward the credits. I cannot. It's a good ending, but it's not the best ending because it sounds like we could have saved Osawa. This one is still, it's still a fine one though. We can do better. See, Stanley option C. You know, that might have been the big one that I didn't do. It might have been that, but we can check all of them. Thank you so much, partner in time. We will be doing that as soon as I can get past all of the credits. I can't believe though that like this game actually finished. Did you know this game has an ending? I apparently have been playing this game for many months. But you know, it's also been like 26, 27 streams finished. Yes? No? This is the longest one, but not by as much as you would think, because while this has been like 26 or 27 streams, there's been a lot more, like, once I started also like doing a lot more hour-long streams, those all could have been cut shorter to like shorter days. Yeah, exactly. I had much longer streams, and also I had a lot fewer like big long breaks, you know, the surgery, that whole thing. But yeah, honestly, still got there. We did it, and it was so worth it. It's funny because when I first started this one, I was like, oh, I heard it's only like 10 hours to get through this game. Or something like that. And then I looked it up and it was a lot more. And then I looked it up and it was a lot more. Oh yes, I did have less pre-game chit chat to actually just get down to business and finish the game. Yeah, clearly, definitely from a speedrunner, but like, I guess it's if you make every choice completely perfectly and you don't sit there and like have opinions and feelings about stuff, which I do a lot. That takes like a lot of time. I mean, there were a lot of these streams where I spent half of the stream just talking about stuff. So yeah, it's been a long ride, but it's been a wonderful ride, and I have adored this game. So I'm very excited to see the real ending. The for realsies bestest ending. The best ending. I can't do anything. I don't even have a mouse. I can't make my mouse even go to another screen. The Polish people in credits, because Polish people are everywhere. Polska góra. Also, like, Poland and Japan actually have a lot of, like, crossover. A surprising amount. I literally went, like, to a botanical garden, and surprise, it was Hanami. It was a cherry blossom season, and like literally it was Hanami festival. Well, okay, all right, something's happening. Gordon Alphard sat in the back seat as the car sped along the highway. Here. Gordon tossed the can cuff. Why? I've been down at the Scramble, Alphard asked, picking up the key and unlocking her cuffs. Leland Palmer was arrested by the Japanese police, and the bomb in the attaché case was defused, apparently. Still, Palmer shouldn't pose a problem once we get him into CIA custody. Yep. I see. Much obliged. Really got yourself backed into a corner, though, didn't you? Gordon said. Yeah, I was only able to accomplish half of what I intended. Half? Alfred produced a vial from her pocket. It was filled with red liquid. Is that Tommy's blood? Gordon asked. Indeed, I managed to acquire the antiviral. But when? Gordon peered at her in bewilderment. When I blew up the minivan. In the dim light of the vehicle, Alfred's eyes shone darkly, like those of a wounded animal. Extracting the blood from Hitomi while she was unconscious had been a simple matter. Saving the girl's life had been more than just a means of ensuring her trust. Alfred had been looking for the right moment to carry out the extraction. Oh, poor Stanley. So sad for Stanley. Total secrecy was essential. If it became public knowledge that the drug existed and that some of it had been stolen, the value of the UA virus would plummet. Our primary objective here was to destroy that research facility. Still, getting our hands on the antiviral is better than nothing. Well done as always, Alfred. Gordon's hard expression softened, but Alfred was in no mood to return his smile. If Maria Osawa had remained inside the facility, her plan would have succeeded. Everything else up until that point had gone off without a hitch. The one thing that Alfred hadn't anticipated was Maria bringing the bomb outside. She'd injected Maria with a knockout drug back to endoelectronics that should have kept her from moving around for a while, even after she'd regained consciousness. And in any case, she would have expected the girl to just march into the midst of an armed standoff. She had been certain that Maria would never even leave the lab. Yep, it was the Americans all along. I mean, honestly, this does sound something like the US would do. They'd be like, we want this antiviral. We want this. Japan has it. We want it. We could just blame this crazy terrorist. She had misjudged how strong the girl's feelings for Kanan were. Maria's body had been put into a state of torpor. There were a bunch of people pointing guns at each other, and still she had been undeterred. Alfred's plan had hinged on Maria's relationship with Kanan, and ironically, that same relationship had made the plan fall apart. It was true that she'd accomplished half of her goals, but Alfred still couldn't shake her sense of failure. She softly bit her lip as she gazed out through the car window. The bright windows of a few buildings shone out in the midst of the otherwise darkened city. A group of tiny lights that refused to be washed out by the darkness. The end. Oh, no. No, we have to get the best ending. Even if this is probably the unchangeable part. Hello. Yes, come on. I've seen all the credits now. Bonus content. Previews. Pop quiz. Okay. Going right back in. No bonus content right now. Okay, let me... Where's my mouse? Okay. Scroll up. Okay. Okay, so Achi. Get to the time chart. Hello. Yes, time chart. Okay, Achi 19. Option 3. We already did that one correctly. Kano. 905. Option A for both of them. Okay, that one's there. I think it's literally... It might just be the Stanley one. It would be funny if it's literally the only one was me being like, Stanley, you know what? This is gonna lead to a bad end. But it didn't. And then I left it there because of course I did. I know. 10. Option B. Okay, this one at least needs to be option B. Okay, so two choices. Don't want to pull this trigger if I don't have to. It's not that you don't want to pull that trigger. It's that you can't. Yeah. Is it enough to save it? Does it count? Oh, we have to... No way to fast forward. There's no way to fast forward. And also, I can't see what's in the current chat because I'm scrolled up to look at previous chat. So... I think... Okay. Can I... Okay. I can at least get to here. It's saved. Hello. Hello. Okay, cool. I guess the end here. And now Stanley, only option, and then we have to do option C. Okay. All right, we got it. I do get revenge. What would Frank think? Stanley pictured his younger brother. It wasn't with a smile on his face. Realization gave him pause. In the end, killing Alphard wouldn't bring his brother back. It goes without saying. But although he could see now that revenge was an absurd goal, his heart still churned deep in darkness for some reason. I think once it saves, it's good. And then we can just go, because like, now we have just this part. Hold on. Press that button. Okay, it counts. Okay, and now it goes to here. Confrontation. This part changes. There will be two stuff to say. Okay, that is in canon. Yeah. Yeah, we're getting better testimony. I'm not gonna like read all the stuff I already read, so we'll pretty much go through until I see something new. Banana fact. Bananas have exactly two endings. That's true. Either they are eaten or they are not eaten. Those are the only options. Every single banana that has ever existed or exists or will exist will either be eaten or not eaten. You killed Kanan, didn't you? This is the same. Alfred. How dare you? I did love... Okay, honestly, at first I was like, that's not Alphard, which again, was the point. But they actually did it really well. It all makes perfect sense. I'm very upset. Very upset that there was no suspicion there. Everyone's just like, yeah, Kanan, you're totally weird assassin friend. Okay, no, you think we keep going until the gun. The gas station sushi ending? Interesting. Like breakfast pancakes and yes. Ah, I want banana pancakes. I want banana pancakes with Nutella. But like not right now, but like tomorrow. I would love to have that tomorrow. It would be so wonderful. I don't have the stuff to make it. Do you technically have bananas? They are very frozen. Which is still delicious, but still. Choco banana milkshake also sounds good. He gave her a thorough pat down, yeah. He just, you know, that's enough. That's enough pat down. Let's see if we can, let's see how it goes this time. But either way, she still has the blood, and she's still going to get given to CIA. Which, by the way, the CIA has interfered in Japan's business, actually, multiple times, and that became unclassified. They literally interfered with Japan's elections multiple times. That's a real thing that happened. And I know it's not really surprising, but it's, like, kind of a fun nod to that. But, like, yeah, it's just a connection to the CIA. In Japan? Yep. Absolutely. He failed to find the gun and the vial of blood. Correct. He failed to find both. Listen, he rolled perception. He got the detonator. That was it. Can't help it. Sometimes you just roll low. I mean, listen. He's wearing sunglasses at night. He has to rely exclusively on his hands. His eyes don't be working. Okay. This is for Kanan. Maria lunged forward, snatching up the gun. Maria, no! What are you thinking? She ignored her father, taking aim at Alfred's forehead. Kanan's dead, and you're gonna pay. This accomplished. Go on, hand me the gun. Stay back! Maria's arm trembled as she aimed the gun. Everyone stood frozen, not even daring to breathe. The slightest wrong move could bring disaster. Right? She'd probably have some opinions if the blood got found, right? I don't care, Alfred. If you want to shoot, then shoot. Maria tightened her grip on the gun. Memories of her friend drifted through her mind. What did it mean to me, Maria Osawa? They had been able to find common ground despite differing ideals because both possessed an unshakable sense of self. Maria made her decision. Oh. I mean, I guess we have to tell her to not shoot because shooting was what caused all the problems because she missed. Listen, if Maria was good at shooting, it would be a different. Exactly. We know she can't. We can't pick B. Can't shoot. I'm not like Kanan. Maria's anger dissipated like smoke in a sudden wind. The tension seeped from her body and she carefully lowered the gun. What's the matter? Alfred smirked. Why won't you shoot? Her eyes blazed with contempt for Maria's naivety. Wrong, you can't shoot. No, she can't. She's never shot a gun in her life and she doesn't play shooter games. She's a terrible shot. She absolutely does not know how. Like you say can't because she's incapable, but no, it's can't because she will miss. No, I'm not being naive, Maria told herself. Do unto others as they have done to you. An eye for eye, a tooth for a tooth. What does this recurring pattern of retribution really accomplish? It's just an endless cycle of hatred. So I'm not gonna fight. Because I'm not like Kanan. Oh yeah, Alfred has hella plot armor. And the CIA. Tears flooded from her eyes. I'm not like Kanan. But people who are different can still be friends. I'm going to honor our friendship by not taking revenge. No matter what happens, I'm not gonna hurt anyone, Maria said. Maybe that's not very realistic, but this is my fight and I'll fight the way I choose. She wiped away her tears. For the first time, Maria felt that she understood Kanan. If she'd been able to see her just one more time, she would have been able to speak her mind without fear. I could show Kanan the true me. And maybe then we would be friends for real. But that wasn't gonna happen. Not anymore. Maria handed the gun to Toteno, then looked up at the nighttime sky. In the distance, she could faintly hear the sound of police sirens. Not one star could be seen in the sky over Shibuya. Oh no. Oh no. It's too late. The 6-7 is already there. God. You know, in like 5-10 years, it's gonna be like, I don't even know. Is it just gonna be silly, funny? How long will it still be funny number? I don't know, because like 69 is funny number forever. That's since the dawn of time. But I don't think 6-7 can last. But how long will it last? Will it last as long as YOLO? Don't know. Because I still use YOLO. Because funny. You please do not ban yourself, because if you ban yourself, you probably can't unban yourself. I think you can like remove your own post though, which would be funny. Yeah, no, they can have their memes. I think it's funny. It's just, I also reserve the right to be, grumpy, like, sure. Yeah, sure, okay, kids. It's really whatever I find funny in my own personal reaction. A black car of foreign make arrived at the laboratory and pulled up to the curb. Stanley's superior, Gordon, emerged from the back. A few of his men followed and promptly placed Alphard in handcuffs. Well done, Gordon said. Stanley gave him a slight nod. I'll be taking Alphard back to headquarters. Finish up here. Yes, eventually, I mean, already it's been overused enough, which probably won't, probably won't work out very well to give it like some, because like I already heard some people talking like, oh, it has a meaning. It's like a meaning kind of like mid. I'm like, I don't think so. Gordon shoved Alphard into the back seat and slid in alongside. Yeet. Yes. I mean, listen, yeet and yoink still work. They work perfectly as is. Those meanings make perfect sense. I don't remember it being a nonsense word. I remember like it specifically being from that one video where this person threw a thing and yelled yeet. But it does make sense there to be an antonym there. Was that just now? My boss. Sorry, we'll be taking Alfred into custody. You will. Oh. Well. Kano, Suzune, Kotone. Tana pictured all their faces. Perhaps in the end he'd managed to become. It's all over. Stanley spoke under his breath, his gaze locked on the car, taking Alphard away. The black cloud that hung over his heart had yet to lift. He knew that today was the day he could finally put revenge aside. No longer would memories of his brother bring only sorrow. This'll do, won't it, Frank? Oh, he thinks it's over. He thinks he's a hero. Abruptly, Maria's cell phone rang in Stanley's pocket. That's right, I meant to give this back to you. Handed the phone to Maria. I wonder who's calling. Is it Kanan? She could hardly believe it when she heard the voice on the line, brusque yet girlish with a daredevil ring. The voice had been burned into her mind since the day she met its owner. No, it can't be. She had been sure to never hear that voice again. In an instant, Maria's face was damp with tears of joy. Thank goodness. Oh, thank goodness. None. Maria couldn't hold back her sobs. The tears kept coming and coming. She never wept with joy like this in her life. Ah, yes, the real Kanan. Her true love. We don't know what happens, though, because Kanan's gonna be like, by the way, Alphard's definitely getting away with this. And you're just like, what? Okay, so this part's gonna be the same. This part is not changing. I'm just slamming the go button as fast as possible. Which does kind of make it go pretty fast. The canonical Kanan. Yes, and now we know. I mean, honestly, that's exactly who I was expecting to have calling is Kanan. But yes. Okay, I have a question about the bonus content. Is there anything in there that I need to see, but also is it short? Because I don't want to push too much, but like I am curious what's in there. Maybe. No, don't give me the maybe. Give me a like, hey, this is like super necessary and worth looking at. Or like you can look at it in your own time. It's about 5 hours in length. Wait, is that for real? Is that the reals? Is that the for realsies? It's about 5 hours of bonus content. That's a lot. Puns are inevitable, yes. For real, 2 fully fledged stories starting 2 more Well, remember how I said this is the last Shibuya Scramble stream? I guess it's not. I guess we have to do the bonus content. So, it's not the end, it's the end of the main story. And next week will be the bonus content. Well, it is what it is. And you know what? That's okay. It actually is. Okay, five flowers or whatever. You know, that'll only take what, 5 weeks? That's fine. What's another month? We can do this. That's funny. Actually, you know what? Maybe that's the biggest plot twist. That it's not over yet, actually. But wait, there's more. Hello? Do they have a bad connection? Rumi, you there? Can you hear me? Case is closed. If you're still somewhere close to Shibuya, I'd love to see if you can. You want to see me, huh? Don't you have a mountain of paperwork you should be doing first? The gruff voice was Shizuo's. Oh. I guess there's a different thing. Well, you see, Father, I told you not to call me that. Shizuo barked so loudly over the phone that Kano's ear rang. Right, no, of course, and yes, I'll do my job. I just want to check and make sure Rumi was all right. Looks like I misjudged you. Maybe you are the kind of guy who'll blow off work to meet with a girl. Yeah, hey! Kano heard Rumi's voice cry out with exasperation. Come on, let me have my phone. I know that work is important, sir, Kano said hurriedly, but Rumi is even more important to me. He felt his panic rising. After all that had happened, he didn't want Shizuo to end up with a bad impression. Oh, be quiet. If you want to see Rumi, you have to do it once you've finished your work. Well, but I'm not sure when that's going to be. I waited on you today a lot longer than I wanted. So at this point, I don't care how long it takes you. We can wait all night if we have to. Shizuo let out a peculiar sigh. Then you and I can talk again about you marrying my daughter. Huh? Poor Kano could be sure he'd heard that right. Shizuo hung up. Huh? What? He stared at the phone, his mind reeling. But he was hit with a veritable explosion of joy. Yes! Kano leapt in the air and shouted with delight, his voice echoing through the Shibuya streets. Okay, so both these stories, it's just reading and enjoying. Okay, that's actually sounds great. We'll do that starting next week. I don't want to start it now because I want to take the time to really enjoy the ending of this, and also because it'll be better for VODs to have this one be the ending of the full story, than have the other ones be optional content for other because then it's optional content also for people on YouTube later, who are also the people who I'm talking to in the future. Oh my gosh, if you're listening to this right now and you're on YouTube, I'm talking to you from the past. Time travel. Shibuya 2, sunny side up. Once the crowd had put Achi back down on his feet, he rushed over to Hitomi. So, Hitomi, there's so much stuff I want to talk to you about. So many things I want to tell you. He gazed into her face. But, Suzune, you know how to continue. Hitomi smiled warmly. Go on, Achi. Go see your sister. There's no one here in trouble you need to rescue now. Thank you. Better get going then to see Suzune. Can he walk? Can he walk now? Oh, strangely enough, his leg didn't hurt too much now. Despite all that had happened, he felt invigorated, as if he was just waking to a brand new day. Achi, Hitomi called out after him. I will see you again, won't I? Achi nodded vigorously. Of course. Just come to Shibuya, you'll find me. He'd been born and raised in Shibuya, but after today, he loved the place more than ever. Yeah, that's too many. That's too many. Well, just the normal other story. Because, listen, okay, if you want the 22 unlockable text-only side stories, that is for someone to play on their own. Yes, this game is super value. There's so much in here. Now I feel like I don't have to, slam jam my way through the credits. Oh, good times. Great times. Not done times. YouTube ASMR exclusive. Oh my gosh. The amount of time that would take. Oh my gosh. But still. Listen, all of my videos are secretly ASMR. If ASMR just means because the meaning of ASMR has kind of been muddled into nothing, and it's just I have a microphone, and sometimes I whisper stuff. But reality is just I do voices kind of. Mostly I just have fun. It's fun for me. It's a good time. Also, my voice is actually kind of sore now, which is interesting because maybe it's because I haven't talked for 2 hours straight for a really long time now, for like multiple months. Dude's camping. That sounds awesome. Listening to like the crackling of fireplace, campfires. The sound of, like, honestly, I really do like the sound of like tent zippers. You know, it's not the same as other zippers. Yeah, I mean, it can be that way. Listen, everyone has their own favorite kind of voice. Anyone and anything can be ASMR to some people. Like, I definitely have seen the joke ASMR of, like, you know, dropping 11 steel pipes in a row and then dropping 5 more. Like, that's technically can be labeled as an ASMR. Or, like, you know, parents fighting in the kitchen ASMR. Anything. Falcon 9 calligraphy pen. Ooh. Wait, that sounds actually good. That's true. Listen, we're not here to yuck anyone's yum. You enjoy whatever kind of sounds you want to enjoy on your own free time. BB Shu. Coco Lulu. Some of these are definitely brands. Now I'm actually like looking at Niwango. Is that just like, is that a username? Like there's no first or last name, it's just Niwango. Rupert Easterbrook. Yeah, okay, there's a lot of people. Oh, there it is. There's all the Polish people. Jarosławski, Paweł Szczelek, Jacek, Adam Piotr, Gurman, Tomasz Nowacki. Just a bunch of people who worked on this, I guess. 2 years before Shibuya Scramble Stories release. I mean, none of us will be ready. None of us will be ready when it comes out. It'll come out and it'll just be like, bam, surprise. But it'll be honestly amazing. I definitely, like, once I can pre-order it, I might. Like, legitimately, after, like, playing this for so much of my life now. Anything new, I wonder. Right here's a scene after the scene. Okay. The minivan, of course. The primary objective was to destroy the research facility. Also, still weird. Oh, this is different. Honestly, though, great actress for all this. Like, captures the vibe perfectly. Oh, shit. That was gonna... They just left? They just left Alphard. They just left her. Like, they're just NPCs. They just kept walking. Stanley in a wig. Interesting. Yes. Yeah, definitely. I mean, yeah. So the anime that's based on is also canon. Oh, sparkly. Now it's an anime. Okay.
解放戦線を裏切ったのか。
目的となる貨物車両を3両目。警報は解除したんじゃないのか。
定か、そちらの進行は。
潜入経路に問題はない。みんな黙らせていいんだよ。
彼女の専門は暗号を破る。
それ以外に理由はない。
から、待て。
渋谷の文字はお前とは相性が悪いみたいだ。
They literally have an anime trailer unlocked by getting the best ending. Oh my god. That is so interesting. Okay. Other one you unlock after getting 50 bad ends. So I have to get bad ends on purpose for that might be too far. Yeah, the anime canon is tied to this. This is, which makes perfect sense. That's interesting. Okay. Well. I guess we'll have a little more next week. Absolutely. I have most of the bad. I ran into a lot of the bad ends. I ran into so many bad ends. I might not need to do that much more to get them all. We'll see. But more importantly, probably, I'll be honest, it's not something I would do on stream. I'm gonna see how this bonus content goes, and then I would do it probably in between streams to unlock it by getting all those bad ends. Then I would do that. That's how it would go, because like going through all of the logistical shenanigans on stream sounds like torture. Yeah, exactly. Especially because it would just be having a guide and just pushing buttons to unlock a thing, but we'll see. I might be tempted, honestly, at this point. But first, one story at a time. Listen, if it's 5 hours of content total, then like it's gonna take us a while to get through the first one anyway, so let's see how it goes. All right, well, yeah, okay. I'm gonna head out now. But thank you all for hanging out with me and for sticking it with me to the end of this amazing game, plus also the bonus content. Never go for conspiracy and me and clean up. Oh goodness. Oh goodness. Yes, no. My favorite bad end though was still actually a good end. It's still the best. I mean, it's still bad because a bunch of bad stuff happens, but still. All right. Thank you all very much again, and I wish you all a wonderful rest of your week, and I'll see you next Monday for surprise bonus content time. Go from there. The farmer. I don't think he was apple farmer. I think it was just like, I think he was holding a radish or something. Still, the farmer one is like still one of my favorite endings of all times. Yeah. Good night, everyone.